Hello, ZB world. My name is Spicer McLeroy, and welcome to Zbrushhangouts Meshed Up Live. Tonight we have some amazing friends and artists that I am humbled and honored to host tonight. For tonight's artist panel, we do have someone new. I'm going to introduce him last. First one is Hiram, walking around with his shirt off as fucking usual. Karen.
What up?
Jesus Christ.
Stop looking at me, Swan.
Whatever. And then we got Karen. And then we have Leo.
Hi.
And then we have Raph over here. And then the new guy, Julian over here. How's it going, Julian? That was pretty nice, dude. That's an intro.
Nice.
All right. So, everybody knows the rules of the show.
Journals.
The panel has 1 hour, 30 minutes to create a masterpiece based on the theme of the show, and tonight's theme is, surprisingly, Halloween. In this case, I know y'all weren't expecting that one, but if you are sculpting, start with a primitive. If you are painting, start with a blank canvas. At the end of the show, you will be judged harshly till the end of time by our amazing audience, and a winner shall be crowned. You have 1 hour, 30 minutes.
The winner shall be crowned Queen of Halloween.
Right.
Pretty much nailed it.
Let's see.
I want to be Queen of Halloween.
1 hour, 30 minutes, starting right. Meow.
Oh, nice.
All right,
Nice.
All right. What's going on, Julian? How you doing, bro?
Hey man, just got back from trick or treating with the kids.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, too much candy too late at night, and need to kill somebody.
Oh,
I'm
man.
surprised you have kids, man. I thought you sound relatively young.
I beg your pardon?
I said I'm surprised you have kids, man. You sound relatively young.
I'm 32, man.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Half as old as Ron. That's pretty good, man.
Yeah,
Good
man,
work.
that's good, dude. That's real good. That's real good.
digging in there, man.
So, Julian, for everybody who doesn't know who you are, what you do, please let them know where they can find you.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I am a studio artist at McFarlane Toys. I work in the sculpting department. Basically, I'm the guy that helps clean up all the digital sculpts that the freelancers do and clean up portraits, get it all prepped and ready for 3D print, cut the articulation, all that fun stuff, and do paintings there as well. Sometimes they need colorized versions for things for like sale sheets and whatnot. So I'm that guy. I also help write like tools for the team, like front-end development. So anything that can streamline the pipeline, I'm kind of the go-to guy for that too. Yeah, ArtStation. It's I can't remember that off the top of my head, but I haven't updated it in forever.
Oh, you don't know the URL by heart?
Julian Moran.artstation.com. Off the top of my head.
No, I'll put it in the chat. I'll find you and I'll put it in the chat. That's
okay, give me. I got it.
I got you.
Wait, so you said you also developed like some tools out, like coding. Then I take it, right?
A little bit. I mean, it's mostly like Python ML script, So for example, we use a set of articulation pretty much every time. Sometimes it's different sizes depending on the pen and cuts and whatnot. So something that I would do would be like make a master file that's got easy buttons and little sliders to make it more simple for somebody to plot articulations. So they're not fighting stuff at the back end.
Right.
So little things like that.
Cool.
And writing little Z scripts to help people do stuff that they constantly do, but you could just be saving 20 minutes if you just made a button that does it for you.
Right. No, I should definitely. I thought about looking into that, man, but it's just like it definitely takes a little bit of time to learn. I would take it, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you got the brain for it, it's pretty simple. I mean, I don't know. It's one of those there's this like standard joke that I tell people, and if they laugh, I know that they would get coding, and if they don't, then maybe it's not for them.
Try it out.
So the mom tells her son to go to the store and get gallon of milk. And if they have eggs, pick up a dozen. So the kid brings back, 12 cartons of milk.
I don't get it.
Logic jokes.
It's a defense statement for the retards in the back.
Yeah, y'all don't get that. Y'all don't get it. I get it.
It's about the lamest joke you can tell.
Yeah, I get it.
It gets quiet.
You know, the fucked up part is that I actually know statements. It's went over my head quickly.
So what got you into this whole slider technical side? And I think we're getting an echo. Hiram, is that you?
Probably.
Yeah.
I got money down saying it.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, what got you into that side?
I don't know, man. It just when I picked up ZBrush, I just wanted to learn everything about it. And then, you know, when I started kind of like playing with a lot of the different tools that would, you know, different ways you can go in and out of the program, different things that, you know, make other processes more streamlined. Then they moved me over into the 3D department at McFarland, and that's what kind of got me into looking more into like, okay, well, what's primed and prepped for rapid prototyping? What kind of tools have they developed? You know, what can I do to streamline the pipeline? I mean, it just really came from like a necessity of being lazy, to be honest with you. I mean, to be completely upfront, like I'm of the mindset that, you know, you give the laziest person the hardest job, he's going to find the fastest way to do it.
Oh, there you go.
That's true.
So
every programmer is lazy by default.
No, I don't know. I guess, but I would say no. It's just in my
You're just
head.
calling a whole group of people lazy. That's great.
Yeah,
so let me
it's-
post his art station over here.
Sad.
I'm just joking. But that but yeah, it's good, man. That makes sense. Giving people long, but then they gotta have the gumption to finish it. So you gotta have that mix of laziness and gumption.
Yeah.
True. Also, like, I don't know, man. You know, when you see, when I first got pulled into that department, it was kind of a sink or swim, and I'm like, you should have tools that do this for you. Like, why am I doing this 300 times? They're like, well, I mean, you know how to write a tool. I mean, do it up. I'm like, yeah, give me a week. It's like,
That's cool. So what's up, Karen? K-Mac. Let them know who you are, what you do, where they can find you.
do it.
I am K-Mac or Karen, and I'm a character artist on sports games. And you can find me at K-Mactastic on ArtStation. Yep, that's me.
So you were awarded probably one of the highest honors to ever be awarded on this day.
Yes.
The costume
right.
contest winner.
There's this award at work that's given out called a Sharky, and it's like very prestigious. And I did end up with a little orange plastic pumpkin trophy, and I was saying that it was more precious than one of these Sharkies. I have it right in the center of my desk. Everyone can see it.
So what was your costume?
I was a Lambert wireframe.
That's
So
yes.
I was T-posing around.
Oh,
You have pictures?
Yeah,
we should.
pull up a picture.
Yeah, you know, like they do.
Here it
That's
is.
to do the switch dance.
Look at that, isn't it? Oh, that's so dope, dude. Hair
And then I have
cards.
hair cards in the back.
Wow, that's
Maybe probably like make it orange, you know, slap some orange on it. Maybe Halloween. Sure.
Yeah, mix black. You know, make the eyes glow.
There we go.
You know,
Add a bat.
add some lines going down it so it looks kind of pumpkinish, you know.
Ooh,
Mm.
Little
good
pumpkin.
ideas. And then.
That's all I got.
Oh man.
That's all I got.
Bueno.
And Leo,
Hello.
how are you, brother? You doing well?
Yeah, hanging in there, being awesome, kicking ass, taking names.
So tell them what you're awesome at, dude. Where they can find you doing awesome stuff.
Oh, I am a concept artist, illustrator, painter, and I do some 3D as well. I can be found at facebook.com/thunderstormart, artstation.com/thunderstormart, twitter.com/thunderstormart, patreon.com/thunderstormart, and many other places /thunderstormart. Yeah.
Nice. So, did you win any costume contests today?
No, I went in myself and lost.
We have a animation instructor at where I work, and the students. He worked on Drake on the last Nathan Drake game. What was it called? Uncharted. Yeah, the last Uncharted game. And they all dressed up as Nathan Drake and his clown.
It's the army of Nathan Drakes.
Yeah, pretty much. It was great.
And for a second.
Yeah, it was funny.
Hey, what's going on?
Oh, it's Ed. You got your cup of coffee, bro?
No, I'm trying. Yeah, yeah.
All right. Well, while you just woke up and immediately got on the internet, you're in front of about 9 million people. Tell them who you are.
Was about right?
I am Ed Lacy. I'm a character designer, animator, art lead, game designer, yeah.
So let's clarify that your name is Ad. What?
Ad Lazy.
And
so
you showed up late. So you're just you're just great, dude. You're all the way through, man.
Yeah, if
that's commitment. That's fucking commitment.
If anyone wants to ever hire me, just know that I'm lazy as fuck.
That's great promotion right there. Well, this kid's honest. I want him.
Yeah, it weeds out the people that understand irony and not, you know.
Well, Leo, you have a question from the audience.
What's up, audience?
It's Diane. I think is that yeah, I should be able to pronounce it though. Ryan with a D. Diane, right? Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Dion
Bermeo. Yeah, there you go. So he is asking, how is she painting on one side and it does it symmetrically on the other side?
Oh, so this is I'm using a program called Paintstorm Studio, and it has a feature among many others called symmetry. And it's basically, I can turn this on and off, and once I do that, it just copies it, whatever I do on one side to the other side. I do know that the recent version of Photoshop, it finally introduced a similar tool. So I would look into that, but I haven't explored that myself. I just know that it exists. But yeah, this is not Photoshop that I'm using. So yeah.
Nice.
So hopefully that answers your question. And Lars has a question. How does one join? Definitely get in our ZB Ho rooms. Those are open 24/7. You can pretty much find them on any post that we've made in the last 5-6 months. There's a link there. So you can
$5 fee.
Yeah, and a $5 fee that you have to pay to hire him directly for his pull-ups for hope cause that he has going. Pull-ups for hope by Hiram Tepete, and that's his. No, just anyway. But yeah, those rooms are always open, so feel free to go in there. And
or you could also donate a $1 for maybe 20 push-ups that I do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a little tip you can do on his Twitch stream.
We'll do push-ups for food. We'll exercise for food.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Oh yeah, let me give you that link. Where is it? CB Ho Room.
Who's in here? Karen. What's up, Karen?
What's up?
All right, Leo, Julian.
What's up, buddy?
All right.
What's up, man?
What's up? What's up, everyone?
All right. So the theme's Halloween, obviously.
Yeah,
So,
I saw
all right.
it. Yeah.
All right.
Mm.
So, and I'll get to you about your game because it fits in perfectly. But Raph,
What's going on, man?
what's going on, brother? How are you doing?
I think I'm amazing, man.
Yeah.
Pretty good, you know.
So let them know what you do, where they can find you. Dude.
All right, so if you want to find me, I have a Facebook page called Hafa Digital Art. So that's RAFA, then digital art, 3 words. And I also, but my main job is I'm a creative director at a social media advertising company, and we're business to business. And it's great because I get to apply 0 of my artistic skills there. So
that's great. That sounds very fulfilling.
Very. No, I'm kidding. I actually do a lot of graphics and stuff. So, but you know, it's really great. And pretty much we just help business get more clients and acquisition. Yeah, that's what I do.
Nice. So, so we were talking earlier before the show that he got into meditation, and that's
yes.
So what got you into this, and what's been happening?
So actually I've always been like, you know, interested in it, and I've done it on and off, but I never really like stuck with it. But we actually got a client that does like massage therapy and also is into spirituality. And part of our deal was that she would sign with us, but like we also would need to meditate every day for 15 minutes a day. So I was just like, all right, this is like, I got to do this now, because like I guess, you know, it's our word. So, you know, here I am. And after like doing it consistently for a week or 2, I instantly started to notice that like things that would irritate me no longer irritated me.
Why is that?
Just because when you meditate, it just it's like you turn your brain off for a little bit. It's almost like you're hitting the reset button. It almost feels like, you know. So it's almost like, it's not like you're sleeping again, but just like it gives you a time to just cool down, bring your vibrations and your energy levels down. So just more mellow from it.
It's like programming, isn't it? It's like
kind of, yeah.
It's like you're programming your brain to not react in a certain way that you're used to reacting to certain
way. Something to that extent, but you're not like trying to.
Isn't that what we do?
I wouldn't know, man.
Raph wouldn't know. But yeah, I always found that whenever I meditate, that instead of thinking about everything that's going on or thinking about what I gotta do or anything, I'm just focusing on my breathing, and it brings me into my body and takes me out of my head, and it gives me some calmness. And it's I never thought of it as a reset button, but yeah, I guess it kind of does feel that way when you just take a few minutes out, and it doesn't have to be an hour or singing tantras or whatever those things. You know, you're just sitting down and you're just being quiet with yourself, and you're just listening to your breathing.
It's all about inhaling, right?
Yeah. But I wanted to talk about the benefits that you actually got from it. So.
I'm sorry. So well, I'm less tired now. That's great. So I feel like I actually not passing out all the time. I don't get the stress levels are down. So, you know, running your own business, man, definitely would test. Yeah, we're live. What are you doing, girl? Pretty sorry, I lost my train of thought there. So yeah, the stress levels are down. I kind of like hyperventilated one day. I was just so stressed out.
Oh, wow.
That hasn't happened. Yeah, so that hasn't happened since like I started doing it, and I feel like it's just take life on with a more level-headed. But like I guess there's health benefits to it. I was never really unhealthy to really notice a difference. But, I mean, what have you seen for a benefit, Ron?
I would just say, like a reset button. Like whenever I need to, like one time before I was going to a social event, and it was like whenever I was very, very hermitish, I would just stay at home, and I didn't know how to talk to people or anything, and I was just like, fuck it, I'm just going to go out and make a fool out of myself and learn how to talk to people. And so I had to go to this social event. It was in Austin, and and before I went, I was there's butterflies just like all rising through me, and I was like pacing back and forth, and I was like, okay, wait, I don't have to do this. I can just sit down and just breathe very slowly, hold it, and breathe out, and realize everything's okay, and this is what I am, not what I was before I started. You know, the meditation. You know, that was neurotic, crazy, just out of his head, or yeah, totally in his head actually. Version
Right.
of me, not the calm within myself.
Yeah, man, totally. It's funny you mentioned that too, because one of the things I noticed is I'm actually like nicer, and
Yeah, you're an asshole most of the time.
I was such a dickhead. Yeah, no. But yeah, I just feel like I'm just nicer, more patient with everybody too, and it's just like, I mean, I wasn't ever like, ugh. But when you're driving and you lose your mind doing traffic, sometimes like that doesn't happen as often. Like somebody like, yeah, somebody does something dumb in traffic. That my wife is just looking at me cross-eyed right now, like.
I actually think you're. Hey, Rafael. I actually think you're actually more an asshole because.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate that.
Yeah, anytime. Yeah, no, because like, an apparent asshole, shows his assholeness because he cares about stuff. But if you're a true asshole, you don't even give a shit. So you appear as nice.
I see. I never really looked at assholism in that light, but thank you.
So
I've been
like
saying that for years.
The road to enlightenment is actually the road to becoming the perfect asshole.
Yeah, just opens up and closes when it needs to. It just lets it out. Maybe lets it. Just opens up.
A true asshole never shows his colors.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know. We're all pink on the inside.
Yeah.
That's true. Oh my God! Yes, that's true. But
just meditate on that, everybody. Oh man.
Yeah, highly recommend it. Highly recommend everybody do it.
All right, so let's see what we got. Emmanuel's up in here. What's going on? Christopher Jones says, "Yo, can't join, but wish you guys the best show." Christopher Jones usually on the panel, but tonight I guess he's partying.
Hell yeah.
He's partying. And Steven,
Too cool for school tonight.
Yep.
I guess he's just wasting his life. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I guess so.
You mean having a life?
Alrighty. So Stephen Sheldon is enjoying the philosophy of asshole. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Like that's my favorite topic to philosophize upon.
Oh God.
Oh, I feel an asshole show coming up. An asshole show coming up. We have 1 hour and 8 minutes. Alrighty.
Outstanding.
Mm-hmm. So, did anybody? What was your costume? Anybody else dress up today?
I want to know what the kids were.
Yeah, I just had a cloak on. I had a mask, but I couldn't see in it, and it was so cold that as soon as I took the mask off from sweating in the mask, my face was frozen. So I was like, "Yeah, I'm just not going to wear the mask. It's not worth the pain.
Right?
I can't do this."
What mask were you wearing tonight, Julian?
It was my daughter's face. It was her face on my face.
Oh man.
No, I don't know. It was like the random Walmart, like Silver Skull kind of mask. Like, yeah, it wasn't anything fancy. I didn't sculpt it from scratch or nothing.
Oh my God.
So, what were the kids dressed up as?
My daughter dressed up as the Cheshire Cat from Alice in Wonderland.
Mm-hmm.
And then my son was Groot.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, I would love to be paid like $5 million to just say I am Groot about 57 times during a movie. That sounds like.
Oh, you have to scream it too. So.
Oh yeah.
That's where the other 4.9 million.
True words, sir. True words.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm done.
There we go. He's done.
Done.
It's pretty scary.
That looks hilarious. What the hell is that?
Oh, Dave K, he's got ZBrush up and running. That's good to hear, brother.
Makes
Good
noise.
to hear. Alrighty,
Did
well,
anyone carve a pumpkin?
Yeah, card pump. I got 2 of them.
Faces?
No, just jack-o'-lanterns. I don't have the patience for all that shit.
I get 3 times, okay, I'm done.
Yeah, I made the mistake of Googling like pumpkin sculpting, not like just cutting holes in it, but like carving into the flesh of it. And now I see what can be done. So when I go to do mine, nothing's good enough. I'm like, damn it.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it's just these few dudes that like it's like tax season, but it's pumpkin carving season. They just do all these pumpkins for parties and whatnot. It's their shtick. Awesome.
pumpkin carving.
Yep.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's extreme pumpkin carving. Like they use machetes and shit and chainsaws.
And then in the back
Acid.
of an ATV.
Yes.
Ron, you're
Like
just
Afro
an idea
tattoo?
man.
Right?
I know.
Would it be?
Artist Tinder and now extreme.
Oh yeah, the artist Tinder. I don't know if the idea. I like the idea. Yeah, it's. I was thinking. Leonard Tio, is that the guy from ArtStation, the owner of ArtStation, or the CEO of it, or whatever it is. But he made this post that this guy was using ArtStation as a dating site, pretty much. Was just going around
Oh my
talking to all these
God.
women that
Wow.
were, doing all that, and he wrote this long diatribe about why he was doing it, and at the end he was like, "Well, I'm still gonna be on the search for my Julia Bell or something like that, because like that fantasy art couple that are always together. It's like Julia Bell and Luis Royo. I don't know, maybe if anybody in the audience knows that combo, but yeah. And so after that, I was like, well, what if we just make a site that's based on our art, and you swipe left and right, and that's who you're like interested in, that's who you want to like
Yes.
date,
Like instead of pictures.
Yeah, because that's the only way I'm ever gonna get a swipe right. I mean, that's just, it's the only way.
Julie likes Dungeons and Dragons and anime. Ooh, fancy.
Mhm.
Buddy.
He likes spending all of his time in front of his computer, scribbling away on a piece of plastic and making little monsters and
How exotic.
superheroes. That sounds so sexy. Oh.
Oh god, that's a $1 million idea. Patent that right now, dude.
Mm-hmm. But then I'm pretty sure the pool would be very, very small in like each city. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Who knows?
You don't know until you know, bro.
Mm-hmm. So
That is a true statement.
yeah. But yeah, if anybody wants that idea, you just give me 3%. I'll ask for it. I'm not greedy. I'm not greedy at all. 3%, I'll sign whatever. And you just make it, and you make billions of dollars, and I'll take 3% of that gladly. Okay. All right.
Good
Verbal
video.
agreement. Legally binding. So what are we working over here, Ad? What's going on, dude? Let's talk about your game. It's pretty appropriate for tonight.
Oh god. Fuck. Yeah. No, I wanted to a good thing actually. Do you guys believe in destiny somehow?
Oh, like
just
the game? Yeah,
That's
it's there.
Big game. Big game.
No, fuck the game. No, I mean,
It's fire.
I believe the game is real.
I don't believe in this whole bullshit about the universe gives you what you want or something like that. But it was kind of interesting because even though we didn't get to release our game because I had a lot of jobs and stuff and I was busy, pumping the game, and everyone else in my team had a lot of busy stuff to do. But like 2 days ago, I actually got invited to like a LAN party, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool.
And we played a lot of games, right? And I actually had my laptop, and on my laptop I had a build of my game, and I was like, hey, you guys wanna try this game, because we were running out of ideas, right? We were playing Quake 3 and Flat Out and all that stuff. They're like, yeah, sure.
That's cool.
And they fucking loved it, and I
Oh, nice.
just like so happy. I was so happy. I was like, oh my god.
There you go, man.
So what was the testing pool? How many were in the testing pool? I need male, female, ages, and
We were
zip
6
codes.
guys. We were 6 guys.
Jesus.
All right, all males. Can I get the age range, please? Thank you. No, just...
25 to like 33, I think. Something like that.
Well, that's good, dude. That's good, man.
Yeah.
That must have felt great. I mean, y'all been working on that for so long.
Yeah.
Well, probably
Yeah,
not
well-
so long. I mean, it just seems like it. But yeah,
No,
yeah.
we've just been so busy, you know, like thinking of getting a publisher so we can get funding, so we can just drop all our clients and stuff, so we can just focus on it. But at the same time,
Is there
I
a
don't
public
think
beta
everything
or
will-
alpha for anybody to play?
Yeah, we have a Discord channel at Edgy Pixel
Okay, I'll
Discord
get that
channel.
link.
If anyone wants to,
Yeah, I'll get that link for you. Am I
Yeah,
able to
just-
do that? Am I able to generate one?
yeah, you just mark and link, and then you'll link to a game so you can test it out. But it's not really organized right now. We're gonna make a trailer of it, and we're gonna eventually, launch it.
So you want me to put it in the chat for everybody?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Want me to generate a link? For
No, I
that?
already got it. Yeah, I'm the host, dude. I got that, dude. I'm on it.
Okay, if you want, I can do it. So no problem.
Just make it really proud.
Yeah, man. So yeah, so if anybody wants to play that game, I've seen it. It makes everybody laugh that plays it. So like, just because it's so
Right?
fun, and you can, and you're a pumpkin in a big pumpkin patch, and there's a bunch of non-active pumpkins. So you just go around and you hide as one, and then you have your friends walking around as monster pumpkins, right? And then they'll shrink down as well because they can hide themselves, and you can sneak up on people and fucking get them, and they can sneak up on you because they're hiding too, and it's really, really fun. So definitely check out the Discord link and get your hands on it, so you can be like, yeah, man, Pumpkin Hack was cool when it was like, when it was the original Pumpkin Hack, they just messed with it too much, it's not as pure as it used to be, So yeah, check it out. You could be one of those people.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. You can be one of those.
Oh,
So there's a link. It's in the chat, so feel free to join. All right.
When I played the one was cool before it was cool.
Before everybody else got on it and just ran out with their community, and like just their suggestions, and I'm pretty sure that ad lazy just like sold out, dude. He just sold out, And then they'll just attack you and have a group called Ad Lazy Sells Out and stuff like that. I'll be the moderator. Raph will be the graphic artist. It'll be fine. It'll be great.
Probably gonna. We're definitely gonna get that out.
And Stafford says, I quote, "God damn it, Ad, give me the final model."
I know. Oh no! I really,
Jeez.
Stafford. I really need to give him.
Jeez. Like, you're on the show, you can spend an hour and a half on it. You spend an hour and a half on finishing it.
Shit going on, man. Too much stuff going on.
Oh, it's just too much.
Yeah.
I'm glad to have you on the show. I haven't talked to you in a while. Good to have you here, brother.
I'm glad to be here. I've been super busy because I had some.
Talk about the thing you put out, the Unreal thing. On the
Robots, right?
marketplace. Where I think he crashed. He'll be back. All right, so Julian and Hiram.
What's
dude.
happening? Say what?
Hiram and Julian and Hiram. Sorry, I haven't talked to Hiram in a while on the show.
Okay, it's all good.
You there, Hiram, dude?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, dude. Let him know who you is, man. What you do.
I think everybody knows what I do. They're sick of me already.
PJ Hiram.
More of me. Well, I've been off for the past inactive for the past 2 months due to I didn't have a PC to work with. So I'll be doing streams again. You can find me on Highly Top Secret art page or Highly Top Secret art station or Highly Top Secret Instagram. I do a lot of 3D printing, character, concepts, and props. So if anybody looking to push some freelance towards this way, let me know.
You also, Cicero Shredlers, do you also have a Craigslist ad anywhere?
What's that?
What? Nothing.
Ooh, backtracked live with 40 million people. Ooh. Watch it. Oh, and where can they find you, dude? Where can they find you? Nipple.com, right? Nipple.com/Hiram Tepete.
This site's under construction right now. It should be up by the end of this year.
All right, dude.
Where I would be doing what's it called 50 push-ups for every $1 you guys send me.
Oh, okay. So 2 cents a push-up. All right,
send me $1, I'll do 50 push-ups.
All right, dude, that's not a bad deal. Julian?
On cam.
Okay, so do you have to do all the? So if I give you $100, you have to do all the push-ups at once if it kills you or not, right?
Oh no,
that's the idea, right?
Yeah.
Like your chest just your muscles and you just rip apart. What the hell? What the hell?
Oh my god, it smells like shit in here.
Oh my word.
All right, enough about me. Next.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. So what we got, Julian? What are we working on?
I don't know, man. Some like open mouth, kind of crazy, no face horn thing. I don't know, man. I have no clue what's going on here.
We got 53 minutes and 30 seconds to figure it out.
Well, it's probably just gonna be like, I don't know, a bus with a renderer. As far as I'm taking it.
Nice. Alrighty, then we got Karen over here. Looking kind of Skeletor-ish, like an upgraded Skeletor over there.
Yeah, I think it's going Grim Reaper territory. Yeah.
Nice.
Nice theme.
Yeah.
So has anyone ever seen a Grim Reaper?
Yeah, my wife.
Whoa!
That's what I heard.
Oh boy.
So I don't know a whole lot about like toys and figurines. How is McFarlane different than like a Hasbro or whatever? It's just like high-end figures, I guess.
Yeah, more detail.
Yeah, I mean, constantly being pushed for as much details as we can squeeze out of every asset, and it's starting to get to they're pushing more for articulation rather than it being pretty. So we're trying to find that, the challenge right now is finding that happy medium in between of having copious amounts of details at 5 or 7 inch scale and still having full articulation. That's kind of where we're.
So it's more like action figures.
Yeah, I mean, it's the market is starting to turn more that way for the time being. I mean, it always swings back and forth between collectible, statue style stuff to, action figures, depending on which licenses we have, access to and whatnot. All the different brands and whatnot.
Oh my god.
So articulate and poignant.
Excellent delivery. Excellent delivery.
Yeah, I'm just a regular average asshole.
Have you ever made your own?
You're more than average.
Hey. I'm sorry, what was that?
Have you ever made your own, like on your own time? Been like, I'm gonna make my own action figure.
Yes and no. I have sculpted out and kind of modeled out some cool stuff that I thought would be interesting to kind of like projects that I do with my kids. Like, hey, let's make an action figure. Then it comes down to cost, and I'm like, I don't have that much money to make. So.
You have a 3D printer at home?
I do not.
That might be an issue.
Why don't you have one, Julian?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm still waiting on you to send it.
Okay.
I didn't know I was supposed to have it. But then again, I didn't catch the email and the invoice of your receipt when you purchased it for me. So whenever that happens.
Well, I mean, if you have a clerical error on your side, I don't see how that concerns me.
Oh. Hold on. Let me look this up. How to say fuck you in German. Yeah, I didn't find anything about that specifically. But I can change my search if you need.
No. I think that was a sufficient search. So who has a real life ghost story that they want to share? No, I'm just...
Nope, not me.
Nothing, Raph?
The guys, man. This last thing I need to see. Oh, great, something I can't fight off. Awesome.
You really need to put your belief in ghosts so you can be haunted by them.
That's like everything I don't want to happen to me.
That'll be a true test of your meditation skills, dude.
Like if I was just in the middle of the night, and wake up and I see a giant dark figure, red eyes, I'll just close my eyes. Like I didn't see anything. I'm going back to sleep.
Peace, purity, power.
Jesus save me.
Wait, did he just say Jesus?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how would you wait? If a monster's coming after you, why the fuck would you rely on a zombie?
It's just like it's like a gut reflex at that point. It's not like I pre-planned it. Like, who would be the right person to call upon right about now?
The first documented zombie.
You pray for Bill Murray, my friend.
Oh, what's going on here? It's like Groundhog Day all over again.
Bill Murray would be like the kindest zombie ever.
He could be just a pretend zombie like he was in that zombie movie, Zombieland.
Right.
I'm back. Sorry about that.
Jeez,
Internet.
and you embarrassed me in front of everybody. Told you to fix your internet connection.
That's not cool, bro.
I don't know what happened. I had to restart my router.
Okay, we didn't like it, so I get it. It's fine.
It's looking good over there, Leo.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, man.
So what you doing over there, guy?
Me?
Yeah, what you doing over there, guy?
What's that?
He's asking what you doing over there, bro?
Just working on a sketch from
Working on a motherfucking
Oh no.
Oh god.
I'm working on a Halloween piece for Hella. I'm gonna call it Halloween.
Oh, nice play on words. I don't get it, but I know it happened because of the way you said it. So I'll figure it out later.
That's how you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much how you know.
Tony, your voice.
Yeah, I remember my first beer.
I have a question for Julian.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
For it.
Oh no.
When you so you mentioned that you do like a lot of cleanup. Is it the same mistakes made over and over again, or is it just something that the artist would not be able to tell because they're not printing it?
Yeah, it's a lot of it is just pipeline stuff. So not to, my intention isn't to throw anybody on the bus or anything like that. Some of the freelancers are more geared towards like game development, so they leave holes in the mesh intentionally because they're just going to retopologize and bake out primary maps from there.
Yep.
But for printing, you want like somebody that's more traditionally trained, so they like everything's basically watertight, like all the way around. People can pay attention to overlapping topology, so it's not like like a lot of errors that we find. Typically, it's just stuff you overlook, like if you turn double on and you sculpt through your mesh.
Oh yeah.
But you sculpt on the negative, and then we get it. We have to fight that detail, add material in the back end, and then like basically rework that entire area just to where it's like not gonna cut a hole in the mesh whenever we unify type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like that. You got to comb over every single asset, and then you got to punch up the details so that way it prints. Little things like
by that.
Unless you have an eye for it. I beg your pardon.
Like exaggerate the what's called pull out more the sculpting so it could
yeah. So like for example,
right?
like skin pores, like a traditional bust, you want to get them as accurate as possible, but when it's down on like an action figure or like a resin piece, it's basically just going to be like as if the surface was sandblasted and all those pore details just disappear. Mm-hmm. So you have to know when to kind of scale your texture up. Because it's going to be that small. Mm-hmm. Something that registers on screen to be like, okay, if I had like a burlap texture on, like some cloth that was draped or whatever, on screen, it might look perfect. Like it's actually that specific, cloth. But when you print it, that shit gets lost. So it's almost like you have to double the size. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's soft. So like, the eye registers it as just being like kind of a buttery noise. It doesn't right. show up. But if you were to take that alpha or texture or whatever you're using and double the scale, it will look ugly on screen. But when it prints, because it's at that scale, your eye will recognize it as a pattern because it's it's a visual textile. Mm-hmm. Even though it doesn't look accurate in the sculpt, it just prints a little bit better. Little things like that, I don't know, man. Again, it's not like I'm. Oh, you fucking freelance sculptors, goddamn.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
Do you like zoom out, like way out, and look at it, or is it just something you have a feel for to know, hey, this is gonna show up?
So what I've been doing is I'll use like I'll pull in the sculpt, and then I'll turn on the chalk shader, and if the detail shows up, and like the with the character full on screen, if I can see the detail, then it's punched up enough.
I think it's one of those things that you actually have to print out and test out, and then you get a sense for it, right?
Yeah. Because you also have to decimate, and if you punch it in too much, or if it's overstated too much, and you try to decimate, you're going to wind up either fighting your processor or your processing application to get it on the print bed, like whether it's Mesh Lab or Magix or whatever it is. If you over decimate, you're going to wind up killing your detail anyway. So it's that you kind of do have to do a test print, but also have to done it enough times to know like where the sweet spot is, what you can get away with, and what's just going to turn into a muddy noise if you overwork it. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. Have you guys ever done anything with color, like printing in color, or is that still not feasible for that kind of work?
In-house, our printers don't print in color.
Yeah.
However, we have been playing around with some newer techniques with kind of 3D printing color onto a model.
Wow.
It's like a weird, I couldn't tell you the name of it. It's kind of like an inkjet. Like they have I'm thinking the best way to describe this. Like, say you have a bust. It's been through manufacturing they would register on this plate, and then a head would come down and basically tampo print. Instead of it being like a one hit or 3-color or whatever, it's actually like an inkjet print. So you could print faces onto like, you know, the actual, you know, pieces. So
what's stamping it on there?
Well, I don't know the entire process.
Okay, yeah, sorry, I'm super.
No, that's cool.
Sounds
Yeah, I'm
cool.
not. I just work there, man. I don't know. Yeah,
That
it's
sounds really neat, though.
Yeah.
something we've been kind of experimenting with recently, trying to get better detail. Hopefully,
Yeah, that opens a lot of possibilities. If you know.
well, yeah, I mean, you run into issues with like, you know, production and manufacturing. You know, if you're telling, you know, a specific company or manufacturing company that, hey, we want this to look exactly like this every time, and then the night shift isn't trained as well as the day shift, and then like, you know, you got people that, you know, like, oh, the boss is out this week, let's dick off, and you know, eyeballs that are on the forehead when they come back, you know, it's like, shit like that happens. So,
You got googly eyes all of a sudden.
yeah, you get the exactly. So
A tracer eyeball incident.
right on. But to go back to the other question, stuff that typically needs to be cleaned up is, you know, just general pipeline stuff like thickness. So like once we get you know, a character from a freelance artist, we have to rescale it to, you know, what it's going to be printed at, and then we have to figure out, okay, well, the jacket is going to be less than a mil in this area, so I got to go and thicken it up. You know, if the freelance artist isn't working, you know, non-destructively with layers and stuff, then I have to rebuild some of the stuff that they, you know, you're kind of fighting against the grain sometimes. So
You actually like them to have layers set up?
sometimes it's useful. So for example, if I have to cut articulation on a jacket, and the jacket calls for a ball joint, I got to cut the arm away or the shoulder away from the torso. If the jacket has a specific texture, or like some surface noise or whatever, and I don't have that alpha, I might be fighting the details as I'm cutting the articulation. Like I might have to resurface the ball after it's been cut, so that way the detail continues on. It's not just some smooth G.I. Joe cut in bullshit. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So having layers can be beneficial on that end. Also, if like I said, if the freelance work comes to us and they're using like, you know, surface noise, and that's on a layer, we can kind of back engineer stuff if the artist doesn't give us the alpha that they use, that type of thing. Like if they're working non-destructively, we can also go into the layer and just duplicate the layer. If it's on like a, you know, if the detail's on its own layer, we can duplicate it to punch it up. That way I'm not going in like masking cavity or anything stupid like that.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's like a gift from God when they do use like non-destructive methods, right?
Beg your pardon?
Like a gift from God when they actually work non-destructively, right?
In some cases, yeah. But then there are other times where like I'll get a file and it's like 5 gigs. I open it up and there's only 20 million polygons. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I go in and like, oh, they got morph targets on every single layer. Everything has 15 polygroups. It's like there's 300 subtools.
Oh, shit.
Wow. Yeah. Hey, man. Those sculpts, those McFarlane toys look amazing, though. So, yeah, whatever they're doing it right.
Yeah, man, kicking out some cool shit.
So so you said it's mostly like articulated stuff, but they do like collectible stuff as well, right?
Oh yeah. Like that's kind of like their flagship stuff has always been kind of doing more of the statues and collectibles and all that jive.
You got a personal favorite one?
Ooh, I don't know. See, that's the thing. I'm kind of worked on a couple of like the larger statue resin pieces. So it's the Daryl Dixon Walking Dead resin piece. I had a pretty big hand in, you know, resurfacing, detailing, and doing colors and stuff like that on that. So I'm kind of like, yeah, man, it's kind of my favorite, but probably because I worked on it. You know what I mean? Like, it's
Right.
not-
But which one now? One that you haven't worked on or didn't have a big hand in that you really like.
Oh man, the medieval Spawn came out fucking phenomenal.
I'll pull that up.
Yeah, dude, you should do that. First time I saw it, I was like, I'm soaking wet right now.
Let me see. And it's the collectible version, right?
Yeah.
Let me see. I'm going to share my screen. Let me know if that's what it is. This one? That one?
No. So top right, the one with the arm up. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so see if we can get a bigger version of that.
You made a question, Ron. If there was a steroid to make you a better artist, would you take it?
Oh, absolutely. I would take it immediately. No questions.
Would you really?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Just to see what it's like.
Cheating.
Not cheating. It's enhancing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Cheating.
There you go. But so, yeah, so that's it. That looks badass. Oh, the violator at the bottom. Ooh, look at all that detail.
Let's see. Oh wow, that's
Oh, wow.
insane. That's cool.
Why you ask? At
Oh no, I was just thinking, like, why would be the reason to not take them? You know?
Yeah, I mean, like the only effect is that you learn. You still have to do the same work. Like people that take steroids and they're weightlifters, they still have to do a shitload of work to look that way. And it's not taking the work out of it; it's allowing you to just do it faster. That's it. You still have to do the same amount of work. There's still, unknown like long-term side effects.
Life, right?
Well, you have to buy food.
Right?
Yeah.
You have to get your nutrients, right?
You pay to win
So you need steroids.
There you go.
It's simple, dude. It's simple.
Oh man.
But yeah. What about you, Ad? Would you do it?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, isn't it about the journey? I don't know.
Yeah, just look at journey, you know.
It's always about the journey. You know, how far you got to drive to get the steroids. I mean, it's about.
We get it. All right. We got to drive to go get it.
I probably would, at one point. Like, I would try to do it on my own, and I would get bored, and I'm just like, fuck it.
I get bored from that. I understand.
Not me. It's the same thing like with me. When I work out, I don't take no protein. I don't take no creatine. I don't take no weight gainer, no mass gainer. I don't take none of that. All natural.
Mm-hmm.
And I like it that way because I know that I did it all by myself without the help of taking anything, taking shortcuts or none of that.
So what makes it a shortcut?
It satisfies me at the end. You know what I mean? Knowing that I didn't take no shortcut. I didn't take the easy way. I didn't take anything to make this process go quicker.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly what Ron said.
Right.
Makes it. What do you define as a shortcut?
Yeah, I mean, like sculpting digitally is a shortcut.
Yeah.
Ooh, burn.
Scripts are.
Burn. Does it hurt?
Using that script, pressing Control D. That's a shortcut. You know what I'm saying? You do it all the time, dude. You take shortcuts all the time, Hiram.
Yeah, like making push-ups. like doing push-ups is a shortcut to actually just working, working the field or something, more primitive or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's still
but I do see the point that Hiram's making. It's like you're
at the
putting
end,
something
you'll
that's
be
not within
satisfied
you.
with yourself. That they came out only from you, so you're gonna be satisfied at the end of yourself. Because if you take the shortcut and you get to the end, you'll be like, oh well, that's it. Now what?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And you're not gonna appreciate because you didn't put nothing into it.
Okay.
What about you, Julian?
What about me?
Would you take
the steroid? Would you take the artistic steroid?
Okay, here's this. Would I take it? Probably, but only because I know that it would force me to put more work in. It's not. I wouldn't use it as a crutch. It would just be another tool to put more man hours in. That's it.
Nice.
Just to do the work. Very similar to the original point. You know, sometimes people take it just to kind of give themselves a little bit more, just to burn through. And it's less about like I'm fucking ripped, man. It's more about like
your own Tony Robbins in the form of a bell.
But
Right,
the reason that question came up is because I was watching this documentary on Netflix called Icarus, and it's all about how Russia's been doping since the '60s and for the Olympics, right? And they have this whole system to hide it. And like he gave up all this information, right? But originally it started as a guy just wanting to do steroids on a Lance Armstrong level with a professional, and then get it through the system and show that it can make it through the system and come out clean. Like they do it all the time.
Oh,
right?
yeah. It's, Joe Rogan podcast had that dude on.
I'm gonna have to watch it then. Yeah, because he was
Yeah, that was a good episode.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'll have to check that out. But yeah, it was like but he did it, and there was a 20% increase at maximum, and he was on the regimen. He was on a Lance Armstrong steroid regimen and did what he could, in terms of exercise, and then went for the race and actually did worse than he did the year prior. And he said to himself, it's whatchamacallit, like I could have been 20 years old and it could have been my best day, and I still wouldn't be Lance Armstrong level with all these steroids on my best day, And so, yeah, I was just like, and then that got me thinking, like, well, I would never take it for a physical reason, like I always just sculpt. So would I take it to become a better sculptor? And immediately I said yes. Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah. That's interesting.
Hey man, I can respect honesty. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because that's a good point right there. Like the one guy used to is it the same guy you're talking about that does race on the bike on speed bike, or at the end he came out saying that he was taking steroids. The same thing, because he didn't feel like he really deserved it. You know what I mean? That he was cheating, and like he didn't appreciate it.
Well, I think he got caught. I think is what he didn't come out and admit it. I think he got caught, unless I'm remembering it wrong. But I don't.
No, he did admit it. I remember he came out and he ended up admitting that he did it. He wanted to return. What's it called?
Oh, he apologized, but he wasn't.
Or something like that.
Yeah. What about you, Karen? Would you take a steroid to become a better artist?
Probably.
Would you at least try it and see what it's like?
I mean, if I started growing hair out of my chin and stuff, probably
Worth it.
Wait. That's interesting. Okay, so if the side effect for regular like testosterone style steroids would be like extra hair and like, oh, I don't have tits anymore or whatever, what would be the ill side effects of like taking an art steroid? Like, would you become a snobby fuck? Like, would you like, judge people constantly?
I think it would be worse than math. Yeah.
Well, I mean, for me, I'm not around many people most of the time. So I'll just be with myself. But no, I don't know.
Probably like a social retard.
Yeah, well, I guess the same effects that steroids have of our knowledge of the effects of steroids that we have. I mean, would you do it, Karen?
If it's the same effects.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same effects.
Probably not, because I wouldn't believe in myself to do the necessary things to. Almost like getting lap band surgery, like if you do that, you have to. The reason you get thin is because if you eat, you'll literally die. Like if you eat too much, that's how that works.
Mm-hmm.
Like the urge to overeat's still there.
Right.
So, probably not. If it was something like I was gonna be at ZBrush Summit and a sculpt off for a championship belt, someone handed me a pill beforehand, maybe. If you handed it to me, Ron, and you're like, just this one time, I feel like.
I still believe in you, K-Mac. Don't worry, just take it. Just
What is it?
Show
Don't
them,
worry about it.
Show them, K-Mac.
Don't worry, she's gonna be fine. It's just Adderall.
Yeah, it's just a sugar pill.
It's just an upper.
It's just an upper.
So how much do we have left?
Oh, that's a good question, dude. We got 25 minutes. 25 minutes.
Oh shit! All right, let me
Right,
buckle
so
down.
Leo, same question. Steroid, same effects. Would you take it?
No, I don't care. I don't deal with hypotheticals.
Okay, cool. So what about you, Raf?
With me?
Mm-hmm.
I just. Yeah, I mean, what are the side effects again? Let's just go over that one more time.
You get totally buff. Right.
Totally buff.
I mean, you get totally buff, and you become better sculpted. You just become ripped. And you can just go. No. Well, the artistic effect is that you just are able to become a better artist quicker.
Right, that's
Side
the goal.
effects are the physical, the same things.
Oh, like ball shrinkage, testicular shrinkage.
Yeah, it's like the pay to win.
Well, you know what? If I the only side effect. Okay, we're gonna go back. Right. The only side effect is that you become a better artist. That's it. There's no physical side effect whatsoever. Just you become a better artist.
Hot damn, hand it over.
Absolutely,
Yeah?
give it over, man.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
Okay. What about you, Hiram? What about you?
No,
No.
I don't
Still.
think
Okay. Leo.
ever.
Yes. He wants to say yes.
Yeah, I would take it too, dude. I'd take it too.
Mm-hmm.
Disappointed at
Okay.
everyone.
Come on, bro.
Well,
Everybody.
what
You
does
still
it-
have
what
to
does
do
it
the same
actually
amount
do?
of work. You
What
still
does
have
it
to
actually do, though?
It's the same thing like people use it for bodybuilding. Like you still gotta fucking do the work. You still gotta lift the weights. You still gotta eat the right thing. You still gotta get your rest. You gotta get.
Okay,
your
but with
nutrition on point.
steroids, what do they do? It's like with growth hormones, for example. It helps you
It
grow.
allows
muscle.
your body to recover quicker.
Yeah, it just helps you
Okay.
get past.
What limit do we have right now on our art that it removes?
Well,
Nothing. You
we
just
learn hard.
like every stroke that you make, you just learn more from it than you would normally. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we learn slower right now, So we would,
Let's
it's like
simplify it. Let's simplify it even more. It's the pill from Limitless. Would you say?
it's like you get more XP, You get like an XP boost.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That doesn't answer.
Yeah. It's a speed X2.
Shit, make mine's a double.
Right.
I mean, who wouldn't? Who
We'll
wouldn't?
take the double straight.
And you got it still injected into your ass or thigh. So.
Oh, in that case, I'm definitely doing it.
Okay, cool. Well, that's what I thought. I knew you couldn't turn that down, dude. I knew you couldn't.
This one's the ass injections.
But yeah,
Mm.
but yeah,
Yes.
I would totally do it. Totally do. I would just be like, how much is it?
Okay, well, how much would you pay for it? That's another
Yeah,
question.
that's a good question. I would pay. So we're talking about a month
Okay,
supply.
what is the highest you would go? Where any higher, you'd be like, no.
Well, that depends on. I mean, if I'm a billionaire, what like?
No. You, the way you are right now.
Oh, $2.
So if it's $2, it's not good.
No. Well, let's say for like a month supply, it's $1,000. Is that fair?
$1,000 a month.
Nope.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Same question for everybody else who said they would do it.
I mean,
would
is
not
that a
go to
reasonable
price.
number? I don't know. I'm just throwing that. I mean, we don't have to decide.
No. The question is, what is the highest you would be willing to pay and still do it? Is that
Well-
any higher than that, you'd be like, yeah, I want to do it, but this is too expensive.
Well, I don't think it.
But
Well,
it's not worth it.
morally, I don't think it should be like cheap. I think it's something you should work your ass off to go get.
I won't pay more than 200, and even then, I'd still be hesitant. 200 a month for a whole month's batch. That's just me.
But your comic book gets done twice as fast.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, okay, well, let's just. I'm trying to think how long it would actually take for me to do my comic book, and
But if it was 10 years, now it's 5 years, and it's $200 a month.
that's true. I mean, no matter how you cut it, it's still twice as fast, of course.
And there's also something else to consider. That you got to consider that if this shit is available, all the other artists are doing it. So
Mhm.
now, if you don't do it, you don't even exist as an artist.
Then we're back to the Lance Armstrong thing.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Much.
Oh man, that's a hard one.
That's a really like dystopian reality.
Right?
It's not really.
It's a complex like situation. I know it's very hypothetical, and I know for people in the audience, if you're just like, oh, these people talk shit, but I mean, just like, it's I think it's an interesting topic because it deals with like your morals, what society thinks of it, like the benefits that you'll have financially and spiritually, knowing that you are becoming a better artist twice as fast, and you're doing, doing the same kind of work.
Are the effects persistent? So, say you take it for a month and you gain whatever knowledge you gained, but then you decide to stop taking it.
It should be permanent.
You still have what you got. You don't need to rely on it.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, right. It's not something that it's not like it's not like that. It doesn't give you your creativity. It just allows you to learn twice. That type of thing.
Well, I mean, if you think about it this way,
if it's a learning thing, I'm more open to it probably.
Because here's the thing: if you think about it, all these tools that we use on the daily basis, ZBrush, Photoshop, they get updates. They make the job easier. I'm sure within a few decades, we'll be able to have artificial intelligence that can tap into our minds and generate polygons and objects just from our sheer creativity. I can just like visualize something and it's going to create it. At that point, maybe being an artist is obsolete because you can literally make your vision come to life by just thinking it. I mean, is that going to be bad? I don't think so. I can only imagine how much wasted potential goes into the trash can just because someone doesn't have, the artistic talent of actually making something happen. So this drug is ultimately it's like a ZBrush script. It's like a Photoshop's action. It's really just
like a faster processor.
Well, to me, the reservation is coming from like, do you really want to mess with your brain?
Well, I mean, we do that already on a daily basis. We eat McDonald's. You're not doing your body any justice.
Right, but just because you do one thing doesn't automatically make the other thing okay. Like, just because you drink coffee doesn't mean that you should, take heroin or whatever.
But if you want to if I want to put something in my body and it's not doing any harm, in fact, it's doing probably good for me, I don't think it's towards anybody else's opinion that they should say I shouldn't have that, or that it's even bad for me, or they should have any judgment of it.
No, that's not what I'm talking about, though.
But yeah. What Julian said is actually already happening in some industries. For example, we have a lot of people who become obsolete at their jobs because they're being replaced by robots. It's actually the same thing. We'd become obsolete at our skill that we nurtured for years because we'd have a robot that can tap into our brain and just do something.
Yeah, I'd appreciate if you credit Julian for my ideas. Thanks.
Yeah, that's great.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
No, man, it was on.
Yeah, but yeah, like the Matrix. Right in the back of the head, dude. I know ZBrush. I know Mario. I know what's real. Just all that shit.
Runs the machine. He's been at it for 12 hours.
Right? I understand shaders.
Oh my god, purple in the subsurface? Are you kidding me?
Oh.
Now I know why they say green.
I understand nudes. Yeah.
Oh my god, I should have been packing my outfit in my albedo.
I just became a Microsoft Paint Painter Master. Oh, whoops, wrong there.
Yeah, man. So what about that? What about that, Hiram? You're in the Matrix, and you got that plug in your head already. You didn't have that choice. You want to learn Kung Fu.
Just a little bit of trying to break it down.
No, Hiram won't do it.
No, man. I don't think I would. Oh, man. That's good. That's what I like about you, Hiram. That's what I like about you.
No, he likes to struggle.
Yeah, I love the struggle. Makes you stronger.
He loves the game.
I appreciate it, yeah. I can live it.
I like it when it hurts a little.
16 more minutes of pain. 16 more minutes. And you know, this is the 13th episode on the 31st of October. Y'all know that.
Very nice, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do believe my shorts just got a little tighter.
Isn't it exciting?
Yes.
Hey, baby Jesus.
Yeah, these are coming out really good.
Thanks, man.
I didn't take it seriously at the beginning. Regrets.
Now you know.
And knowing is half the battle.
Pull Robin Williams. I mean, it's not your fault.
I knew things once.
That one time.
That one time.
I've seen some stuff, man. And some things.
Oh man. Good man. So do you like sculpting horns? Got any tips? Got it.
I got a tip for you.
It's in my pants.
Well, I just want the tip. That's it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't have any tips for sculpting horns. It's mostly about reference, and I'm not using reference at the moment, so it's not a good thing.
That's good. I'm glad you
My main
practiced what
tip
you
is
preach.
that you should get good. Just try to get
It
good.
wasn't like it's like, oh yeah, you just go ahead and spend 40 minutes, set up a comp sheet, so that way you can make your. We're starting. Okay, cool.
Oh, that's the show. Oh, okay, all right.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and thank you all for being on the show.
Thanks for having us over, man.
Thank you so much.
Awesome.
We have 13 minutes left. 13 minutes.
Oh my god, will you have my baby?
Wait,
what?
Twice.
What?
Twice.
Yes. That just got weird.
That's Meshed Up Live. Super fucking weird.
Oh, my
Yeah,
grandfather's not watching.
So give us a backstory on this one, Karen. Give us a backstory.
He's
Amazing.
Pretty much nailed it.
He was curious about noisemakers and the new ZBrush.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess they've been around for a while, but the new ones they added in.
Mm-hmm.
And he decided to deck himself out in to compensate for the lack of details. He has sculpted.
Nice.
It's a wonderful, intriguing backstory.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'm
So
sold.
when's the movie coming out?
For Noisemaker Grim Reaper
Mm-hmm.
next year.
Next year. All right, everybody remember that.
When Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out,
Ooh.
This game.
Should have said Half-Life 3. That would have been.
that would have been
Oh, when's that coming out?
Confirmed. I just heard it. Half-Life
Confirmed. Yeah, I heard a rumor. It's confirmed. It's already done. It's coming out next week.
They're talking about it in ZB Hall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Smashed up.
Really prestigious room. Really prestigious. One of the most prestigious of prestige.
the most cultured humor.
Yes.
Quite refined gentleman.
So culture.
Very cultured, yeah.
For the mere utterance of the word tip causes a fury of
Giggles.
So, hashtag trigger.
Water's good.
Is it though?
It is, man. I got that pH 9.5 plus, dude. That alkaline water with electrolytes for taste. Because, electrolytes.
It's what your plants crave, brother.
Yeah,
You know it.
It's got electrolytes.
You can't try this electrolytes.
Plants need water. No, Gatorade has electrolytes. You don't understand.
We have 11 minutes, and I'd like to reach out to the audience right now. I want you all to vote on who you think has the best result tonight, all right? We have to shame everybody else that lost, all right? All on Twitter. Find them on Twitter. Shame, do that, and praise the winner that you all choose. Just put it in the comments. Let them know. We have Ad right here. He's still gonna. He's a strong finisher, dude. Like, we're gonna come back to him. Don't worry about it. He's got it going. All right. We got Hiram over here. Coming over here. All right. We got Julian over here. Karen K-Mac. Leo. And Raph. All right. So put it in the chat. Let me know who you think's doing the best, and they shall get awarded the champion of Halloween.
And a 3D printer.
Which chat? Which? I mean, we're streaming multiple places, right?
Yes.
I see.
Yeah. So we're taking a tally, a community vote.
Okay, I'm gonna go vote for myself real quick.
Oh yeah, you can totally vote for yourself, guys. Yeah, you have a total of 3 votes. You got us on Twitch. Got us on YouTube and Facebook, all under Zbrushhangout. So look us up. So, and before you go, plug this Unreal pack that you came out with on the Unreal Marketplace recently.
Oh yeah. So
bring it up on the screen, dude. Bring it up on the screen.
If you're making a prototype, right, and you're using Unreal Engine and you're using the basic mannequin rig, right, for your base characters, you can literally just download my pack and just put like some awesome characters in there, and you can customize them and all that stuff with literally like next to nothing. It's pretty cheap, like
literally.
Yeah, seriously, because like the work that I did on that, it's literally about $10,000, I think, of work on that fucking pack.
Nice, dude. How much you get for it?
Let me see if I can find it.
I'm gonna pull it up. Yeah, I got you. You just go in.
You can just go to Unreal Engine Marketplace and I'll send you a link.
Oh man.
Oh, I got it right here.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, it's basically you can customize all the items in there. You can change them, switch them up, mix them up, change the colors, change the materials, change the metallicity on them, everything.
I'm pulled up on my screen.
Yeah, and I plan on releasing more packs that are compatible with it.
Nice.
Well, there you go, guys. So if you're developing something, these are pretty cool ones, dude. I like the chest cavity of this. It's pretty dope. Cool. So how many hours did you put into this?
Oh wow. I think I calculated around between 120 and 250 hours on it.
Dude, oh, you got a lot of comments on this too.
Yeah,
that's good, man. Good job, man.
I'm still working on it. Thank you, man.
Cool. All right, we have 6 minutes 45 seconds. All right.
Holy shit, man.
Holy G. All right, so we have Ad. Make sure to put your vote in the chat. Put your vote in the chat. Oh, Raph has got 1 vote.
Yep, make sure do.
And then we got Hiram. All right, so this was Ad, Hiram, Julian, K-Mac, Leo, and Raph. All right. So, again, I want to thank each and every one of you for being on the show. This is a great show. Had a lot of laughs. And before we go, let's do a little mic check. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all down?
Yeah.
Y'all down with a little mic check, dude? All right.
Taz.
All right.
We're
Go.
glad to be here, man. Thank you for hosting it.
It's always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. So, let them know who you are, what you do, where they can find you.
All right, you can find me on Adrian M on ArtStation. I'm a freelance character artist, pretty much designer all around in game development. So yeah, you can just and also you can find me on Twitter with the lazy ad. So yeah, if you want to follow me there.
And Hiram?
You guys can find me on ArtStation, Highly Top Secret, or my art page on Facebook, also Highly Top Secret, Instagram, Highly Top Secret _ no, it's Highly _ Top Secret.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
All righty.
Nice.
And Julian?
Yeah, the only thing I really have is an ArtStation. So you can go to julianmoran.artstation.com.
Nice.
K-Mac?
You can find me at kmactastic at artstation.com or Karen McCarthy. Or if you search under the artist tab. Yep.
And Leo?
Facebook.com/thunderstormart, artstation.com/thunderstormart.
And Raph?
You can find me at Hafa Digital Arts on Facebook. And yeah, that's it for me.
All right, man. And my name is Spicer McLeroy. You can find me pretty much anywhere under Shotgun Scream. You can find me on my Instagram, SpicerCG. And again, it was a really great time with y'all. Very, very happy I got you all together at the last minute. And y'all came through and made these great works of art. It looks great. Thank you very much.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, brother.
Thank you.
So everybody say good night, YouTube.
Hey, wait a minute, but who won though?
Yeah.
All right, good night.
Raph
Internet.
won. Raph's the only one that got the vote, dude.
Fuck
bro.
rap, man. That's my shit, bro. Yo, put
Okay,
my
so
fucking screen on again.
who voted for you, Raph? Do you know?
It was a friend of mine.
Oh, like, do you know him well?
Cheating, man.
Yeah, it was Julian. Julian, thanks for the vote, bro.
You're welcome, buddy. I love you.
Bullshit. Yo, put my screen back on, man.
What are you talking about? What? I'm sorry?
I mean, I don't
Oh,
know,
you
I
want to
don't
see
know.
the vote on screen? It's
Fucking
right here.
rig this shit. Bullshit.
Hey, man.
Yo, look at my fucking screen again, man. Everybody, look at my.
Look, it's right on my screen right here, dude. It's right there, dude. Raph voted for himself. I told you, you can cheat, dude. All right, life isn't
cheated
fair.
anymore.
That's the first lesson you need to learn.
Fucking
All right.
cheaters.
All right, so again, thank you for watching Meshed Up Live. Catch us on Zbrushhangout and the ZBHO CG Club. And, we got our links on all of our posts, so check them out. And everybody say good night, YouTube.
Night.
Good night.
YouTube.
Down.
Wash that ass.